Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Paris Wedding Show, where it is my job to talk about weddings and elopements in Paris and in France. And today, on this solo episode, we're going to talk about tips to turn your Paris elopement into a fairy tale and a very sweet memories. First of all, first things first, as always, preparation, which is very important. Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Importance of meticulous planning for a Paris elopement. You don't have to do it all yourself. You can hire great planners here. I know tons of wedding planners, elopement planners, even that. Even photographers would turn into planners. All around the city, you can find very talented people and very, very professional people who are going to help you and know what you don't know. For example, the time of the day that it's better to get your ceremony done, what time you should start to get prepared, all this kind of thing. So it's always very important to take into consideration the importance of planning and preparation. You can do it all yourself. Do your research as always. If you don't want to hire someone, you're gonna have to spend time learning what all those professionals are doing. So this is possible. You can also plan yourself. There's plenty of great content, not only on my podcast or my blog, but all over the internet. You can find help, informations, tips, guides all over the planet web. You can type Paris elopement, you can type Paris celebration, wedding, and you're going to find what you need. The aim of the preparation is always have in mind that you need to be prepared in order to, on the day, enjoy the magic and the memory of the day. When you're not prepared, you're gonna be stressed, and this is not what you want when you're traveling a lot from far away, very often from the States or from Asia, or the rest of the world, and suddenly you realize that you didn't prepare for all this or that, and then you have to do last minute changes. This is not good. So my first tip, preparation. Second, you can choose the season. This sounds important. In the summer there's plenty of weddings, obviously. In the winter we still have weddings in Paris. However, it's kind of very, very cold in January onwards. So January and February there is still weddings, but often they go into private place, or we do small ceremonies, elopements all around the Eiffel Tower in public spaces. Get some warm clothes if you think about doing this in the winter time. This is my friendly advice. Otherwise, autumn and spring are a very ideal time for a very stylish elopement. Stylish, I always think about this amazing wedding celebration that I had in the fall, in the autumn. It was in the Luxembourg Gardens, and all the trees were orange, and it was absolutely golden backdrop, and I really loved it. So this can be another option if you don't want to go classic. You can like skip the wedding white wedding dress classic and go for different colors. There's plenty of great inspiration all around the internet once again. So I suggest to have a look if you think about doing this like in an outside the box way. Think about also the seasons, how they can influence your attire and the photos. Remember, the photos are what you're going to have apart from the memory. So it's super important to have someone professional and someone who also understands you and what you want. This is super important. So that's for the second thing. Now the third tips, very, very classic. All the professionals will tell you this. Avoid the crowds. Why? Paris is the most touristic city in the world. So when you're planning your wedding or your elopement, especially elopement since it's public, when you're planning your elopement, you're gonna see plenty of great pictures with empty streets and empty bars, empty monuments, the empty Eiffel Tower, empty Trocadero, etc., etc. But this is all an illusion. So I'm not talking about Photoshop editing here. I'm talking about a trick that we all do is going to pick the spot for the ceremony if it's on the outside on a public space like Trocadero, Birakim Bridge, Luxembourg Garden, Eiffel Tower, all of these. We're often doing the ceremony very early in the morning so we can avoid the crowds and buses of tourists who are going to show up probably around 8:30 a.m., even earlier sometimes in the summer. So that's important to wake up early and schedule your elopement early to avoid tourists. Can be great to have tourists, but not too much. This is still, from my point of view, a ceremony. Even if you don't want something serious or too formal, a ceremony is a ceremony, and it's still always important to have your space and not having someone waving at you or even wishing you the best. You're not gonna get like booed or or insulted, of course, but you don't want, maybe you want the privacy of it, and I think it's pretty important to be on your own, you and the city, you, your loved one, and Paris, and just go with your flow. It always changes everything when there's less people. So this is basically the importance of intimacy during the ceremony and photograph. Um, for me, it's a very important point, if not the most. So that's for the third. Now, four, choosing your location, location. Going beyond the Eiffel Tower for ceremony locations, this is something you can do. There's plenty of spots and places all around the Eiffel Tower who are very accessible, even walking. You can take a car as well. But this is always great to go a bit further from the Eiffel Tower, like that. You can have it on the frame full. The first thing that people want is to be very near the Eiffel Tower. Oh yeah, because we love it. So when you go and you're near the Eiffel Tower, the pictures are not so great, obviously, because you're getting closer. So it's always great to get to some spots such as Birakim Bridge or Trocadero, or even the little river Seine shores, right above the bridge. This is where you can get, for me, the best pictures. So choose the location wisely. You don't have to be only at the Eiffel Tower. Obviously, there's plenty of other spots. You can check out my blog. I wrote an article on this and also recorded an episode which is called Where to Elope in Paris. So you can find all the other locations and my favorites over there. Talking about the fifth point, scenic photo spots. What do I mean by that? Suggestions such as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and the Alexander III Bridge. These are the most iconic places in Paris. Everyone knows them. Everyone wants to see them. And even if people don't know where you are in the world, if you show them a picture with you, your husband or your wife, and the Eiffel Tower in the background, you're always gonna get this wow effect. And oh my God, you're in Paris, and this is amazing. They understand, like, at the moment, straight away, what you're doing, why you did it, and this is kind of like very iconic. This is one of my favorite thing about Paris. I'm always saying that we are all professionals, very lucky to have Paris, to have all these crazy monuments, landmarks, and histories all around this lovely city, which is mine. We're very lucky to have them because this is what make people come, and this is why people are coming. And I find it very inspiring, even as a Parisian, to realize how connected we are to our past and to history. So do your best to get the best photo spots, because this is a very big part of your elopement. And that's it for all these 5 points. I hope it was very helpful for you. If you need more information, you can send me a message or comment in the section. In conclusion, the most important thing is importance of picking the right time and place for elopement. There's no rules. You have to like everything, so go with your flow and follow your heart, as always. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you very soon for another episode.